Be gentle. Be gentle. He doesn't need to be gentle with you, but you need to be gentle with him.
This is the story of Esquilo, a tiny squirrel whose life was changed by kindness, patience, and trust. What began as a fragile rescue grew into a rare bond between a family, a gentle dog named Millie, and a wild soul who was loved enough to be set free. Every morning, just after 7:30, Millie would sit by the glass door. She did not bark. She did not move. She simply waited. Outside, the garden was quiet, but Millie's eyes were fixed on the trees, as if she knew someone important might appear at any moment, and most days he did. It was hard not to be amazed by the relationship between Millie and the little squirrel. Wherever Millie went, he followed. Wherever she lay down, he stayed close. They were inseparable in a way that felt instinctive, gentle, and deeply sincere. The family had always been careful. They watched closely, reminding Millie to be gentle, but there was never real fear. Somehow, from the very first day, Millie had accepted the tiny creature as her own. The story began with a phone call. One afternoon, their 16-year-old daughter called, her voice shaking slightly. She was holding a baby squirrel that had fallen from its nest. The little animal was in poor condition, dehydrated, weak, and with a clear infection in his right eye. None of them knew anything about squirrels. There were no instructions, no experience to rely on, only concern. The credit, they would later say, belonged entirely to their daughter. She dreamed of becoming a veterinarian, and she took the situation seriously. She researched, learned, and carefully nursed the squirrel back to health. Slowly and patiently, she gave him a chance. They named him Esquilo, the Portuguese word for squirrel, a small reminder of their Brazilian roots.
Nah, he doesn't want me today.
Oh, go there, right there. He wants there. Why, Giada?
You're picky boy, huh?
Yeah, he is.
You picky boy.
Giada, save you. Come here.
Because the father worked from home, caring for Esquilo during the day became part of his routine. The squirrel slept on his lap. When he cleaned the house, Esquilo clung to his body. While emails were written and calls were taken, the little squirrel stayed close, warm, and trusting.
Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Yeah? Come here, you're right.
Without effort or intention, Esquilo became part of the family. There were simple moments sharing food, playful curiosity, quiet companionship. He was spoiled perhaps, but always respected. They understood one important thing: Esquilo was a wild animal. He did not belong in a cage. One day, the father placed him on a wooden column in the living room, just to see what he would do. Esquilo climbed easily and confidently. That was the moment they knew he was ready.
Ele é tão bonitinho, ele é tão bonitinho, ele é tão bonitinho, né, Millie? Ele é tão...
Letting him go was harder than expected. That night was sleepless, filled with worry and doubt. Had they done the right thing? The next morning, at 7 o'clock sharp, the father went outside and called his name. To his surprise and deep emotion, Esquilo appeared. The relief was overwhelming. He jumped onto the man's shoulder, just as he had done so many times before. They went inside, back to the familiar routine: the sink, the syringe, the warm formula. It felt like a quiet reunion. From that day on, Esquilo came back every single day. He stayed for an hour or two, then gave a small sign climbing onto the man's head that it was time to return outside. There was no force, no holding him back, only understanding. Millie waited for him every morning, and every time he returned, it felt like a gift. It is not easy to be the parent of a squirrel, but the family felt grateful. Esquilo taught them about trust, about freedom, and about how beautiful it can be when love does not try to possess, only to care. And each day, as he explored and then came home again, they were reminded of something simple and rare. Sometimes, the most meaningful bonds are the ones we are brave enough to let go of. This story reminds us that true love lies not in possession, but in understanding and respect. The family cared for Esquilo with tenderness, yet when the time came, they had the courage to return him to nature. That choice created a bond stronger than any cage. Esquilo returned each day not because he was held captive, but because he wanted to. Millie waited not out of instinct, but out of trust. When humans treat all living beings with patience, responsibility, and genuine love, we do more than save a small creature. We learn a profound lesson about freedom, gratitude, and the beauty of relationships that are not bound by ownership. If you enjoyed this story, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more stories about second chances, quiet resilience, and the deep bond between humans and animals. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching.
Our team works hard behind the scenes to find and share real-life stories that truly matter. Every video is crafted with care, carefully researched, edited with trusted sources, and always treated with the respect these stories deserve. What you see isn't just made to inspire, it's meant to be real and meaningful.